I'm so scared. I'm just going to tell you guys, I'm really scared. I don't do this kind of stuff ever. But I'm here. I do it now. And you guys have all inspired me, and I'm really thankful to be here, and I'm thankful to Randy and the whole team, and I'm more than thankful. I'm honored because you guys are amazing. And I'm totally shaking, like even my face is shaking. So sorry. Okay, and I don't have a presentation, but I needed to hold something, so don't worry, there's no slides. Give me the clicker. Okay. When I was at the Storyline Conference in February, I heard a quote, and I'm sure most of you have heard it. Donald Miller uses it like all the time. When a person can't find a deep sense of meaning, they distract themselves with pleasure. And this is so true for all of us. Whatever it is, if it's shopping, if it's just being busy, Satan always wants to find something to distract you. And so we think we'll be happy when we have a better job, and we think we'll be happy when we have this or that, whatever it is. Even if it's just wasting time going to the beach, like I like to do, we get distracted and we think we're happy, and we're not focused on our purpose. Sorry, I'm so nervous. Okay, so for me, that's what happened. Life was getting in the way of me following my purpose. I started writing. I've written since I was a little girl, but I didn't know that meant I was a writer. I used to write poems and journals. I have a million journals. And I started writing a book a few years ago. And I launched my blog the day that John sent out his little, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, that email. And I'd already launched it, so I was already like, okay, I can do this. And then I read the email, and I was like, yeah, I want to do this. I thought I was going to go to some lodge in the mountains for 24 days with 24 people and get all this one-on-one time with all these amazing people. So, but I'm glad that wasn't it, because I would much rather have what we have today. Anyways, so I started really getting serious about writing and following my purpose, and but I was still just getting distracted with life. And I know that was Satan. I know that's what he wants to do. And so in February, that's why I wrote the book, The Simplicity Project. And that's what I'm kind of supposed to be talking about, but I'm really not going to talk about it, because it's not my passion. It was a stumbling block for me, and I had to figure out what was keeping me from my passion, and I had to remove it. So for some of you, maybe it's the same thing. Some of you, maybe it's fear. Some of you, maybe it's money. I don't know what it is, but you have to find what it is, and you have to get rid of it. So for me, that's what it was. And I was going to make an ebook and try and help supplement our income, and I did put heart into it, and it has my story, and it's covered in grace, because I'm so not, I'm not perfect. I have to go home and I have to start over, because we just moved. My house is a disaster. My schedule is chaotic, and so I just have to go do it again. So if you read the book, please don't think that I have it all together. It's just I'm addressing that that's an issue, and I'm removing it. So what is your stumbling block? What is keeping you from fulfilling the purpose that God created you for? I fully believe that every single one of us were created for a purpose, not just for making a ton of money, not for being famous. Not that those things are bad. If your focus is, how can I use this for the greater purpose, for the kingdom? Sarah was telling me, she was talking to me about her Neighbor's Table Instagram, and she said that, I think Melissa asked her, do you want Neighbor's Table's name to outlive your name when she was trying to decide if she was going to do both, and she wanted Neighbor's Table to outlive her. And I think that needs to be all of our goals. Whatever your passion is it going to outlive your name, or is it just going to die with you? And so as much as I believe that we all have a purpose, I also believe that there's an enemy that wants to take you out. When I follow, I don't even know, maybe some of you guys know, I follow, he's a pastor, and his name is Levi Lusko, or I don't know if I'm even saying it right, but he posted this on Instagram the other day, and he was talking about his brother who has always wanted to be a filmmaker. He's worked really hard, you know, he's put in the time, but he's finally getting noticed for it, getting commended for his work. And so, but at the end of his little blurb about his brother, he said, "The moral of the story, don't give up on your dreams, fight for them, and when they are small and vulnerable, you've got to protect them like crazy." And I loved that, because for a lot of us, our dreams are still really small and they're really vulnerable, and we have to protect them. Like my kids, I wouldn't want, you know, when they're little, like, you've got to protect them, you've got to nurture them, you've got to grow them. You can't rush the process either. Like, I'm already like trying to slow my kids down. Like, I don't want them to grow up. I want them to grow up into these beautiful people, but it has to be in God's time. I really want to challenge you guys to really find your passion, find your dream, the one that God put in your heart. You know, writing a book was awesome, and it's a dream come true, but like that's not the end. That's not, like, my passion is people, and people living their life the way God intended them to. A year and a half ago, I was at the Color Conference in Australia. It's the Hillsong Women's Conference, and we were challenged to take out a blank sheet of paper and just pray and ask God to just show us something, like something huge, no limits. Just pray and ask God to reveal something to you. And so I want to read what I wrote on my paper. I said, "I see God's people awakening from a slumber, rising up to fulfill their purpose in life, their eyes being open to the truth and life, realizing what they once thought they knew was just the tip of the iceberg, and that Satan had them trapped in what they thought was right, trapped in religion, trapped in escaping religion, but also leaving Jesus and his great commission behind. Trapped in the American dream, trapped in churches that are coddling their members instead of challenging them and training them. Trapped in being good enough, trapped in the wrong interpretation of suffering for Christ, trapped in living for the moment instead of eternity." I could go on. I see women declaring and speaking truth over their families' and friends' lives, commanding Satan to get behind them and taking up their weapons of faith, walking onto the battlefield every single day with a plan and a purpose. I see men stepping into their roles as leaders and bringing their women alongside of them, declaring God's love over their families, friends, church, and businesses. I see God's church waking up, moving beyond the ordinary into the extraordinary, declaring his great works over all the earth from generation to generation. The great things we read in the Bible were not just for Bible times. Are we not God's people, his babies, just like those that we read about? The Bible says we will see greater things. What are we waiting for? That really is what I want to see. I want to see it for my kids. I want my kids to realize their passion before they're 36. I want them to know it now and to keep living it out. And we all have a different path, and that's something that's hard as dreamers. We all want to get up here and talk like Ryan Eller. Like, I wish. Maybe someday. Or Kelsey. Oh my gosh. Like, when she got up here, I was like, I want to be that calm and cool and collected. But it just takes time. And we have to walk our own path. If we're focused on trying to walk someone else's path, we're missing the people that God puts in ours. And so, as hard as it is, I mean, obviously, even today, I was like, oh, I want to be like that. You know, you just have to take what you have and focus on the people around you. I want to read a scripture. Isaiah 52:7. How beautiful on the mountains are the feet of those who bring good news, who proclaim peace, who bring good tidings, who proclaim salvation, who say to Zion, your God reigns. And I just want you guys to know, all of you have beautiful feet on a mountain, on your mountain that God gave you. And you need to remember that, whether your path is really little and only like your immediate community is going to see it, or whether your path is huge and thousands will see it, it doesn't matter. God made it and it's beautiful and you're beautiful. So take your dream and protect it, let it grow, walk the path you're called to walk. I think you all should take a blank sheet of paper and just pray and ask God to show you something amazing, like beyond what your dream is that we're sharing here. Like, dream bigger. Like, there's so much that we can have that God's ready to give us if we would just open our eyes to it. And I actually have one more little challenge. It wasn't part of my notes or anything, but I've had a lot of conversations this weekend, and I feel the same way. It's so hard. We love our little bubble, and we wish like we could take all of us wherever we go, and you know, because most of us don't have community like this. We don't have, it's hard. I have very few friends that I can dream with. And I wish I could just have all of you. And I would love to challenge you all to just go home and just meet a new person that maybe they're not ready for that, but like we have to be that to other people. Like we can't just stay in this little bubble. And like what Sarah's doing with Neighbor's Table is exactly what we should be doing. We don't have to have a big Neighbor's Table. Just be a friend to somebody. Make a new friend. Talk to the grocery clerk, whatever it is. But if we keep to ourselves, it'll fizzle out. Once we're all gone, it has to grow. So go make new friends.